Hello and welcome to another episode of Average Joe's Fantasy Sports Podcast.
Hey.
Right now, we got some specialness for you, almost as special as our man here, Scott. Oh gosh. And just as I introduced Scott, we got the man with the master plan, Jared.
This is not a beer. This is just a soda, so don't get it twisted.
Irish cream soda, delicious. Private selection, fries, food stores. Right now we are going to start everything off with the man to my right, and it looks like he's to my left because of the video, but Jared.
What's up? So today we're going to do another section of studs, duds, and sleepers, and we're rocking with the NFC West. So I'm going to start with this team, and man, we're starting with them to get them over with. The Bayside, San Francisco 49ers. Now, to me, I know it's hard. I did find a stud, surprisingly. Someone I think will be a stud. He was kind of sitting on the chopping block earlier this offseason, but is now risen to the top, creme de la creme. So risen to the top and back on top of the depth chart, Carlos Hyde.
Ooh.
So here's the thing. He's been running with the first team. He's still going early in the fantasy drafts. I mean, third, fourth round, which is high, but again, going with the first team, offensive line has improved. They looked well in the preseason game with their run blocking. Pass blocking wasn't so good, but that just means that they're going to lean on the run more, which is how San Francisco's been most of their career when you look back and watch them play. So, very run-happy team, more than happy to do that, especially in the Shanahan offense. So,
Shanahan's he's got dangerous plays. Every team he's been with, they've always had a successful offense, and the year after that, when he leaves, those offenses crumble. It's not just coincidence.
yeah, and if he can stay healthy, that's the big thing. The biggest issue with Hyde is his health. It's not his talent, it's the health. And he runs just like Frank Gore used to there, and they love that. But he can't stay on the field like Frank Gore could, so downfall there. I mean, in 2016, 13 games they played, he had 217 rushing attempts, 988 yards, and had a 4.6 yards per carry. So
that's pretty good, actually.
yeah. He can up on the TDs a little bit. I mean, he only had 6, but that was 13 games, though. And he also got some receptions, 27 receptions, 163 yards, and 3 touchdowns out of that. So he can be using the pass game if need be. So
yeah.
They have some young people there, and Joe Williams that might take away from that. But for now, he's in a solid position. That burp, excuse me, folks. But I do have a dud, and this guy's a dud on every team. And obviously, San Francisco are going to have duds. But that's Brian Hoyer. This man just can't figure it out. He plays good for 2 or 3 games out of the season. Everybody gets ecstatic, and then he falls off the map. And he goes Jay Cutler. Pick after pick after pick. Turnovers, misreads, missed passes. I mean, it's just an awful thing to watch. So, and you think that's going to affect the passing game, you think that's going to affect the receivers, but he's still going to chuck the ball no matter how bad he is. So this man still has an opportunity. Yeah, I'm going to transition into my sleeper now, because I don't want to talk about Brian Hoyer any longer. That was long enough as it is.
They don't want to hear it either.
Yeah, you don't want to hear that anymore. You guys know the story. So I want to transition to Pierre Garçon. Because they're going to be in a situation where it's probably garbage time. They're going to be in a situation where they're down, so they're going to have to chuck with Brian Hoyer. And in a Kyle Shanahan offense, the number 1 receiver on that team gets peppered with targets. When he played with him back in 2013, he had 183 targets with 113 receptions.
Ugh.
So,
dirty.
And now that also boosts up Pierre Garçon because he's familiar with that system. And Shanahan's familiar with him, and vice versa. So, as a good sleeper, going like round 9, 10, 11, Pierre Garçon. Look for him.
He's the only good player on what team are we talking about again?
Yeah. 41.
I forgot halfway through what we were talking about. I was just naming out players at some point.
Are they
And with Pierre Garçon too, 3rd easiest schedule for our receivers. So the defense he's going in, he has a chance to expose them.
And that says a lot. Sorry to interrupt, but because in that division they play against 2 of the best pass past defensive teams in the Seahawks and the Cardinals.
Mhm.
So that means the rest of the schedule is just cake.
Well, and the Rams are actually a pretty good defense too.
Oh, yeah.
They have a good pass rush.
We'll get to that
Corners
later.
are all right. But another thing is they just paid this man. All right, so they're working on a contract where they're talking about how his contract this year he'll probably be making $16 million. So they have a high investment in Pierre Garçon. So when you start paying people like that, and that kind of money, you're going to be sitting there and you're going to shower that man with targets and opportunities.
Oh, yes.
So you're not paying all that money just to have him ride the bench or be your second receiver. No, they're looking at him as the number one. So.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be doing what's his name did last year for the Browns.
Terrell Pryor? Yeah, buddy.
He's gonna be doing that. I guarantee you, man. If they have to throw him at QB, I bet you he would.
Hey man, wasn't he a quarterback back in his college days? It was either him
I don't
or
know. I can
Jameson
look up.
Crowder. I think that's who it was.
I can look it up.
Terrell Pryor was a quarterback.
Terrell Pryor definitely was for the Ohio State University, right?
Julian Edelman was. Those were the only two people I know.
Julian Edelman and Terrell Pryor, the only two that I know of that successfully went from quarterback to receiver. Joe Webb tried to do receiver to quarterback. I mean, he's still on the Panthers. Did pretty good, but in the first preseason game.
Those are my anyway studs, duds, and sleepers for San Francisco 49ers.
Ooh.
So now we're one team down in the NFC West.
We'll bring it to the second team on the bottom of that.
We'll do a little ping pong back and forth here.
We're going down to the Los Angeles Rams. Oh gosh!
As you can see, we're getting these throw-up teams out of the way real quick.
Yes, but
There's still fantasy value on all teams.
well, that's correct. But also, most of the teams in this division really have a hard time playing against the Rams. Even though the
True.
Rams don't really have a great offense, they
Well,
actually have a
mostly
bad time
Seattle.
playing against them.
Seattle has the hardest time.
Terrible. Some of the
Cardinals do a
too.
little bit too, though.
They've lost once or twice. And I think they've lost one time in each of the last 2 years.
Yeah, at least
Versus the Rams.
Here.
But you can't put the 49ers in there because they lose almost to everybody.
Oh
so.
yeah, they lose to everybody except the Vikings 2 years ago on Monday night. But we'll talk about that.
I mean, I don't even have to worry about it. The real team in the Bay Area right now is,
Is the Golden State Warriors, but
Yeah, right.
let's go back to football, Scott.
Yeah, I'll go back to football. Yeah, there might be another team over there.
But we have what I like to do always, and that's throw in a little flip flop thing that makes people be like, "What? This is fantasy." You forget there's defenses, baby. And speaking of defenses, with the LA Rams, they got a phenomenal defense. They are the 13th picked defense. I know it's a stud, and it should be a sleeper because of their average draft position, but the reason I put them at a stud is because Aaron Donald is in a contract kind of dispute, I guess, where he wants to get paid more. So that means he's going to put in more effort. He's going to play harder, even grimier. And they signed Connor Barwin, even though he has been irrelevant for a couple years. He still has the potential, and since he's not the leaned-on guy, he will show his flashes of potential again. They have so much potential on that defensive side, especially on that line, to get plenty of sacks, strip sacks, touchdowns.
Even with Mr. 8-8, Jeff Fisher, they played well. So.
Well,
I got Tavon Austin on the special teams.
Yep.
Last week when we talked about the trade that happened with
The Bills.
Sammy Watkins going to the Rams. That's a little bit better for their offense, but they still need.
And hopefully
I think it's a lot better.
Hopefully it keeps their offense can figure out to keep the defense off so they're not getting fatigued. That's the.
But since I listen to the sports radio out here, and it's usually Burns and Gambo, where they talk about the Cardinals, that's who they talk about, but they said that their defense, the Rams defense, is so good that they just have to work on their offense.
Their front
So
seven.
that Jared Goff can actually do something.
Already will.
Yes.
It can be explosive. It can be explosive.
No,
It's
you
another
know
team to
why
watch out
they're
for.
going to be more explosive? Because I have two studs for them. I know, it's pretty wild. But I got Todd Gurley as my other stud. I mean, his average draft position is 20, so you can't call that a sleeper. And with what they want to do with him, McVay, their coach, said they want to utilize him more in the pass game, which is going to be dangerous because this man has great vision. He's a good pure running
He's
back.
an explosive running
He's
back.
very explosive. I mean, last year he had 43 receptions for 327 yards. It's not much, but that's because every time Jared Goff like panic and would throw, and he would be like, "What are you doing? Oh my gosh! All right, I'll try and get yards." But with the run game, it wasn't as great. He only had 885 yards, 6 touchdowns, and like a 3. It was a 3
the box against them.
Yep. And now that they have receivers to be a receiver that I think when he's healthy is an all-pro receiver, in my sleeper who we're gonna talk about in a sec. But what I believe is Sammy Watkins opens the door for less people in the box. He won't always see 8 men. It'll be 7, or maybe even they'll try and do zone coverage.
Yep.
Defenses will respect that they have a Tavon Austin who isn't that great, but they gotta respect the speed. And then you got Sammy Watkins who is just a pure catcher. He catches almost everything when he's not sitting there like
Woods
hobbling.
is down there too, isn't he?
Woods, yeah, but he's fallen on that depth chart. From what I've read, Sean McVay, apologies, was saying that he's not looking too good. They got a receiver who is a rookie in Cooper Kupp,
Yep.
who is showing signs of greatness. And they are planning on using Sammy, Kupp, and Tavon in the slot, which could be very dangerous, depending on how the rookie
Spread them out, get into a 3-receiver set, give some opportunities to Todd Gurley, not spread out the
Dump it
defense.
off or run it. See, Todd Gurley is the 10th running back taken. I mean, I get like 4 or 5 of them that can go above him.
Right.
But then the rest of them are like, they don't have the same talent level as Gurley. Gurley in his first year, 13 games, had 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns.
And you know that very well.
I thought he was going to be better than Adrian Peterson in his prime.
Yeah.
He still could be. He has
Right.
the potential. He shows the flashes of greatness. But enough of the man Todd Gurley. I could talk everyone's ear off about him. I'm going to switch to my duds. There's plenty of duds on that team, yes, but there's one in particular that I already mentioned. And it's not because of the lack of talent. It's because they don't know how to utilize this man, and it is Tavon Austin. He is my dud. He had 58 receptions, 509 yards, and 3 touchdowns last year. But the worst thing is he has a nagging hamstring injury still, right now.
Mm-hmm.
He has yet to practice under his new head coach. He has not practiced once.
Wow.
First it was a wrist surgery, and then before training camp even got to begin, he messed his hamstring up, and he's still questionable. They're saying he's not even going to play in any of the preseason games.
Wow.
No chemistry building there.
No chemistry up. It's
That's
just,
tough.
especially in a new look team,
Right.
it's going to be hard for him.
Yep.
Feel like you guys probably already know that, and I hope that you do. I hope you don't waste the pick on him, because I guarantee you could find a better option.
I want you to make sure that you know the duds.
Yeah, exactly. Like, please listen to me on this one. I may be an average Joe, but the more you know, the more you grow. All right.
That's cute.
If we are gonna transition before I keep chitter chatter and the pitter patter, I know you like that.
I'm
I'm
I'm a father.
I'm
Okay?
just
I got dad jokes all day, y'all. I love you, Sophia. But
I'm just gonna leave. Kidding.
so
Kidding.
before the rudeness happened,
Kidding.
of my own teammate walking out. That's my quarterback. That's my quarterback. Speaking of receivers, my sleeper is Sammy Watkins. This man, when he is healthy, even though in 2015, he missed 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
Still managed 60, excuse me for a hiccup.
You're right there, bro.
60 receptions, 1,047 yards, and 9 touchdowns. I know that's 2 years ago, but that shows his talent level. Because last year, he was nagging. He had a nagging injury, 28 receptions, 430 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But in the preseason opener versus the Vikings, he was running clean, crisp routes. He didn't look hobbly. He didn't look like he was in pain. And with the fact that Todd Gurley is going to be more utilized in the pass game, and we got the rookie Cooper Kupp, who's looking phenomenal in practice and training camp, I believe he's a sleeper / steal in Sammy Watkins. He is average. His average draft position is the early 4th round, very late 3rd round. And you think of the talent level for this man. There's a reason why people have always told you to draft Sammy Watkins in the 1st round, 2nd round. And it's been, even though he's injury prone, everyone's known this.
Maybe that's
talent
just
above. Oh
talent
my gosh,
is there.
dude.
maybe that's just Buffalo though.
Exactly. They
Because
don't.
Jeremy Maclin got injured in Buffalo, so
What?
I mean, Jeremy Maclin. No,
Jeremy Maclin?
no, it was Jordan Matthews.
Jordan
Jordan Matthews. I was like, what?
Jordan Matthews.
Yeah, he has a fracture in his
The ironies that we talked about, you know?
Yeah. Y'all, that is my studs, duds, and sleepers for the Los Angeles Rams.
Cool. I want to take the team that, for some reason, the Rams always beat. I don't understand how they do it, but the Seattle Seahawks.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Boom. And my stud, and this guy's been a growing stud over the years, Doug Baldwin.
DB.
Going in the late 2nd round, early 3rd round.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Not at all. And every year, the passing attempts increase for the Seattle Seahawks. So that means more targets going around.
No more Marshawn Lynch.
No more Marshawn Lynch. And people think with Jimmy Graham healthy, that's going to take away. But I think that spreads out the field. I think now they got to focus on Graham. They can't be putting double coverage on Baldwin.
Exactly.
So the opportunity to be there for his one-on-one, which we've seen he can definitely
He's
handle.
phenomenal with
He
that.
can go across the middle, he can go over the top. People say he never wasn't the fastest, which is why he got pushed so far back in draft stock and everything like that. But he's come a long way since then. So, not to mention, he's got the easiest schedule for receivers first.
Yeah.
So he's got the big green light. So
He's got that
you know,
PPR gold. They also, I saw a stat. I'm sorry to interrupt, brother, but it was. I hope that you're not about to say this and I'm stealing it. But the 40, he's had 45% of the passing attempts thrown his way every single year, even with the increase of passing attempts. So that's
he always has a target share, the majority of the target share. Excuse me.
Yes.
So, yep.
It's not bad at all.
I don't see
not
that
at all.
going down.
Not to mention, he's played the
skill.
last 4 years, all 16 games. So not only is he talented, but reliable. He's always on the field. He's always available for you.
So he's trying to get a steal in the draft when we draft in 2 weeks, a week and a half.
You know,
Which
he had
y'all will
Yeah,
experience.
he had that freak year the year before with 14 touchdowns, 1,069 yards. Dipped a little bit in the touchdowns last year to 7 touchdowns, but had 1,100 yards. So, and had 94 receptions compared to 73 the year prior. So,
That levels out in
yep,
PPR.
it does.
Definitely.
The PPR definitely levels out.
I love it.
You looking up somewhere? Or you just stealing my notes?
No, I'm just
Yeah,
telling myself to
exactly,
draft Doug Baldwin.
No.
Thieving heathen.
Acting like a dud right now. Speaking of one of these duds, the plotter, the fat boy, Eddie Lacy.
Yeah.
And I don't usually spend much time on my duds because they're not really worthy, but just so you know, he does have an easy schedule as far as running backs go. A 6th easiest going out there, so he does have opportunities, but question is, will he capitalize on those opportunities? He's a big old plotter.
Yeah.
Not to mention he has ankle issues, so making those hard cuts with
CJ
that kind of weight
Process.
is hard for your body. Now, CJ Process is good, but not a 3-down back, just a receiving back. Because Thomas Ross, is still up on the depth chart as a number 2. Actually, he's actually put as a starter now.
Yeah.
So they say he's probably going to open the season because the plotter looks.
Yeah, he got stuffed at the goal line the other day.
Exactly.
Yeah, it did not look well.
CJ?
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
Eddie Lacy.
Eddie.
Oh, really?
And
Eddie Lacy's like what, 230?
250.
250.
He's a
Yeah,
plotter.
running back by committee too is going to make it.
5'11", 250.
He's 30 more pounds than
Yep, and he's RBBC, so running back by committee, so that doesn't bode well either. So it's just thin line for every running back there. Not worthwhile investment. Not for him going in let's see, the 6th and 7th round. So, and there's plenty of other people you can probably get there.
Backup running backs that are in
Running backs,
like
wide
Tevin Coleman.
receivers,
You get better receivers. I mean,
you know,
you have better luck looking in the waiver wire.
you'd be
Pretty much.
better off taking Jimmy Graham. He falls into that area,
Ooh.
6th round, 7th
Yeah,
round.
oh yeah.
So, speaking of Jimmy Graham, that is who my sleeper is. The man comes back from the Achilles tear, and then comes back and puts up 65 receptions, 923 yards, and 6 touchdowns
Ooh.
off the Achilles tear. The guy who said
He's
that
ridiculous.
at the age of 30, with that type of injury, would not be able to perform and produce. The opposite happened.
Dude, he's a monster.
He is. He's an absolute monster. 6'7", 265 pounds, and can move.
Oh boy.
So good luck trying to beat him in the red zone. That's
Yeah.
exactly where they're going to use
You're
him.
never gonna be able to. You gotta have a Megatron in your backfield.
Exactly.
They don't make those. They're
Rob
only receivers.
Gronkowski in the backfield.
Exactly.
Playing corner.
Right.
Man,
So
ultimate team.
since the plotter can't get it done at the goal line, guess what they're going to have to do? We all know Pete Carroll likes to pass it in those clutch situations.
Yep. I know you'll love that, Chaz.
Yep. So now the schedule for tight ends, and tight end schedule is a little fluky. It's the 28th, so kind of the back end for the easiest schedule. But with tight ends, it's super fluky, and it's Jimmy Graham.
Yes.
His size and talent can defeat any of a lot of these middle linebackers that he'll be going up against, and the outside linebackers that'll be trying to cover him, who are usually between 5'11" and 6'2". He's already got those inches on them.
Oh, yeah.
So no, I'm not
Like
worried
Rob
about that.
Gronkowski, so I mean,
Right, he's worth the late 5th, 6th, 7th round picks.
Easily.
So in
Was
that range,
once thought of being better than Rob Gronkowski.
he was.
And he was actually better. I mean, he did have Drew Brees, but Rob Gronkowski has Tom Brady, so.
And he played all 16 games last year. Just so y'all know,
After an Achilles tear, too.
played all 16 games.
I partially tore mine, and I sit there still hobbling. He's a freaking monster. Phenomenal.
He is. Again, I don't know. Where he's falling in, I would definitely look at him. So, especially if he falls into the 6th or the 7th.
right.
Peak
Where
again.
you got kind of them dead zones. I mean, we just talked about that's where Eddie Lacy's falling. I'll take a chance on Jimmy Graham.
Exactly.
already.
Before
So,
I get into Eddie Lacy.
If he's falling, you pick that.
It's an easy pick. Grab Jimmy Graham before you even try to get Eddie Lacy.
yeah, that way you can wait on a tight end. For the stretch to the 4th or 5th round.
Yep.
You can get 6th, 7th round. Boom.
You know what's an
Awesome.
easier pick?
You tell me.
A throw from Jay Cutler.
Oh, true. These are facts, though. This is not an opinion. This is a fact. Check the encyclopedias.
Your encyclopedia.
Man. But that concludes my studs, duds, and sleepers. What do
Ooh.
you have? I know you're gonna finish the NFC West for us. I'm out of Seattle here.
I'm finishing
On to
this off.
Cincinnati. No, I'm just kidding.
Yep. Hey, we're going straight to New England.
Right?
I mean, what? We're gonna finish this off with a little hometown, or not hometown, because we're not really. None of us are from here, but we live here and we have for a while. But the Arizona Cardinals, and my studs are just your first pick in the draft better be this guy right here, because he's gonna be mine in my PPR league where I get the first pick, baby. Yeah, buddy. That man. You know what his name is? You know what his name is? Andre Ellington. No, I'm just kidding. David Johnson, baby. Yeah. This man, stat line, and we've already talked about him in another podcast, but he had 293 carries, 1,239 yards, and 16 touchdowns. 80 receptions for 879 yards and 4 touchdowns. He had 13 receptions of 20 yards or more. That's 13 of 20 yards or more as a running back.
And a rookie, right?
No, second year.
Second
year. He also said he feels better
than ever.
He knows, he feels like he is going to get 1,000, and put up the same number of touchdowns.
That's talking about giving him 30 touches too, which
30,
is crazy.
ooh.
Because last year he was averaging 23.3 touches. So
Right.
the average is 3 touches a game. Just imagine what he can do.
Oh, it'll be redonkulous.
Him and then Chris Johnson.
And to add, the 7th easiest schedule for running backs.
Yep.
So-
Yeah, they can throw in some love right there,
Yeah.
baby.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
Hey, man. This
Good
guy
first
is a dude that, when he got drafted, everyone's like, I don't even really know this guy. And then he played behind Ellington last year and the RBBC, running back by committee, basically, and still showed out with 500 yards in only 13 games.
Yep.
But then they gave him the shot this year. They knew what they had, and he went off. And now this year, it's gonna be special.
And 15 out of 16 weeks he's in the top 12. Means he never left the top 12. He's always an RB1.
He's always
He was
Four
nasty
formats.
all year last year.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
That dude was nasty.
He won so many games for people.
He did.
And I'm sorry, you guys, but
And the 1 week he probably wasn't was the week he got hurt.
yeah.
You know,
And that week I thought he was done for.
Yeah.
That was
I was like,
scare.
his knee's done. But that's
That
how
was
you know. He,
Otherwise, it would have been 16 out of 16.
he
so.
does yoga, all that stuff. He stretches consistently. He's dedicated to his flexibility, and that's why he has such good feet, such good speed and vision. He's just an all-around back. And he's what you would call a new dimension back because he can catch like a receiver. He is basically their number 2 receiver on that team. And with that being said, but this is on the opposite side of the field where they have to practice against him every day, is the Arizona Cardinals defense and special teams. 'Cause you got that man Patty P in the backfield, not just in the defense. I mean with the returns. This guy is phenomenal, and they're saying he's gonna do it again this year.
Mhm.
He's gonna
P2?
go out there. Yep, P2.
All I have to say is that guy is the most respectful guy.
Oh, he's a phenomenal human being.
He comes into my store all the time, and he's just
kind,
so down to earth.
and you can tell with
Love
his
that
daughter, he loves his child, man.
I've seen her up close personal.
She's
Boy,
adorable.
she's cute. She's cute.
Adorable.
Yeah.
So what's Tyrann Matthews' issue?
Tyrann Matthew, he's just not a very nice guy, but he's a phenomenal player, man.
But is
Charging
what's his
kids?
health status?
Oh, he's healthy this year. We got a healthy honey badger. We got 2 brand new toys for that back. Oh, thank you for that defense in Son Reddick and Buda Baker, and returning for his 2nd year is that man Robert Nkemdiche, who last year he did not play, but he played, but don't discredit him for that. He just had an issue with his personality per se, with how he was, because he was just coming out of college with those issues already being linked to Ndamukong Suh. But in practice, they have been saying he is blowing that line up. Well, that line is good.
When they played against the Raiders in the first
he
week,
wrecked people.
well, they said that he was the player of the game,
Yep,
basically.
he was phenomenal that game.
So, Bruce Arians is pretty much kind of giving him the okay, kind of looking at you, better keep it going, because when I was talking to my father about it, they were saying that he might even be a bench. He might come in later on in the games. He's not going to start.
Robert Nkemdiche?
Yeah.
Yeah, but inside information to me has informed me that in this off season he worked on bettering his character, bettering his overall football knowledge, and bettering his formation, his technique, and all that. And it's showing. He's just got all the talent in the world, and as long as he keeps his attitude straight.
As long as it isn't Greg Hardy situation.
Exactly.
Right.
Smarten up. But I don't really need to keep convincing you about the Cardinals' defense when they were the number 2. But if you need more convincing, Just drop a
the
comment or
highlights.
something. Check the highlights, baby. Or just watch while someone else in your league who took them keeps racking up points.
Check the lowlights too. They're still better than a lot of teams' highlights.
Oh,
so.
true that.
They are fun to watch, though.
Oh,
They
yes,
are.
they are.
Being here in Arizona, it's fun to watch them on TV.
It is, because I love defenses coming from.
Just not when they played against the Bills last year.
Oh,
That was
no.
pretty bad.
That was
That
terrible.
was atrocious.
Except that
That was
interception
terrible.
was pretty dope.
That was bad.
Oh my, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. P2 is just.
It's a baller, dude. He's phenomenal.
I still to this day, it's amazing that I was able to meet him a couple times. But, man, guys.
I met one better. Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner is a
Kurt Warner.
human being.
Not lucky.
Kurt Warner. Not a
You
big
got
deal.
lucky.
Heart of gold.
I would love to meet Larry, though.
Larry
I
is
would
my
too.
favorite.
Larry would be dope.
Skull Vikings. I wish he ever played for his hometown, but you know, some people would disown their hometown like this guy, Viking, Minnesota, wearing Ravens. But I
You
love
love
you.
California?
I know. No, I'm saying like with team
Yeah, I'm
wise,
not
bro.
from Northern California, I'm from Southern.
I want to hear it.
Because I could be a Rams fan, but
No,
they
you can't.
left.
You.
That would be.
I could be a San Diego Charger / LA Chargers.
Instead, he's a Las Vegas Raiders fan. I mean, what? Oakland? Sorry.
Hey, you're a Vikings fan. Where are you from?
I'm from Montana, baby.
Yeah.
There ain't no team up there, bro. My whole family is from St. Paul, Minnesota.
Bye.
I'm from New Jersey, so.
He's from no Jersey because he don't got a jersey on. All right, y'all. I'm gonna transition to the duds. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet for you. My duds for that team is every receiver except Larry Fitzgerald and Jerron Brown. In the words of Bruce Arians.
Yeah, Bruce Arians threw a lot of hate and a lot of shade at his receivers. So.
Yep. He even told them secretly that their GM, is upstairs looking at film for other receivers,
Yep,
trying to find something better. I don't know what he's doing back there, but enough about the duds of that. You guys should already know John Brown has talent, but he's got sickle cell. I'm sorry for, I'm not saying that's a reason not to, but it's a reason to be precautious.
Stay away, or not stay away, but be alert and be aware
Exactly.
when you're drafting. So keep an eye on his status.
That, and you can get, if he goes off, waiver wire all day. People that are drafting him, yeah, that's a rarity.
Mm-hmm. Going majorly undrafted.
Exactly, majorly in very big sites like ESPN and Yahoo, which those are like the mains. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna transition now to the sleepers.
But he did give credit to Jerron Brown.
Jerron Brown, baby. I did give him some credit. I did not throw him in on my sleepers because I'm a little on him because I haven't seen much from him. But this other man is a sleeper just because of his average draft position. And it is that man who does not age, Larry Fitzgerald. This guy is drafted average in the late 6th round, early 7th in PPR leagues and 9th
I think
in
that's
standard.
more about right.
I do not. I feel like he could
He could go higher in PPR, but
he could go way higher. All right, standard,
Standard
I
is about
understand. PPR, 107 receptions, 1,023 yards and 6 touchdowns. The receptions are going to be there still. He may be 33, but he still feels young. He even said he feels better than he's ever
He
felt.
trains right, so
Exactly.
rehab's even better.
Rehab's way better. He's going to be the number one, obviously, and
Mhm.
people are going to kind of think that he's going to be slowed down, so that's going to leave a little bit less press. I mean, even if they do throw press coverage, he's a bigger receiver than most corners are.
He did a hell of a good freaking block one.
Oh, he's one of the best run blocking
He
wide
knocked the fool
receivers.
down on
He
his
is.
butt.
And he did it against the Vikings last year too.
Yeah.
He smoked somebody. It was pretty. It didn't hurt my feelings, but I loved it
Oh,
at the
no.
same
They take
time.
great honor and pride being
Yeah.
on the block out there.
Oh yes.
Or here, I should say, in Phoenix.
Yep. And that's what Michael Floyd said when we signed, or not when we signed him, but 2 weeks ago when they interviewed him, they were talking about why he's such a good run blocker, and he said Bruce Arians literally won't let you play if you don't know how to run block. Said that he will hate you if you don't know how to run block.
Bruce
And
Arians is a very, very different coach.
I like him.
I've never seen, yeah.
They're just like I love Mike
Everybody-
Zimmer.
There's a swag about him.
Uh-huh.
Everybody on the Cardinals love Bruce.
He's like a grandpa. He's like Papa Arians.
Well, he just
real as a
he
$100
told-
bill.
When he came to the Cardinals, he told Larry Fitzgerald, "You're not getting a free ride.
Yeah, you're gonna put
I
your work
can,
in.
I can bench you just like everyone else.
Larry's got a work ethic like
Oh.
anyone else, like no one else. I mean,
Nobody has to say
But it's
negative
good to
things.
reassure that your superstars aren't saved. So
Mhm.
Right. Like some of them think they are. So
but, hey, some players just think that they are the greatest ever, but that's because in college and high school and all that other stuff, they were the best on that field every day.
and they get to the NFL and they realize, wow, these guys were also the best.
Yeah, they're the
and they've
best.
been here 5-6 years
Yeah.
already.
And have already humbled themselves down and put the effort in.
What was that? Leonard Fournette said that. the
Oh,
other
he said
day?
it's the NFL's slow and easy, but you're a good. You
That'll
have
make a target
potential.
for him.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm
That's the
saying.
thing.
Those knees, you better cover them, bro. You already have knee issue.
But wasn't he playing against the third or fourth strings?
I
I mean,
mean, it's fine. He was playing
you're
against
on
the
the
Patriots,
Jags, bro.
but
That's another thing. You're on the Jags. Come
Yeah.
on, man. Like,
hey, that's even better for him.
So, right, so
But
people gotta talk to boost their adrenaline, to boost their mentality. You know, that's what they do.
he's feeling insecure. I mean, no, I'm just kidding. All right, guys, I got one more for you for the sleeper category, and that's gonna wrap everything up. But it is the man throwing him the ball, and I know I had said the duds are every receiver except Larry and Jerron, but Carson Palmer is my sleeper, especially with his average draft position being the 152nd pick. It's, I mean, it's the 15th round basically,
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah,
Depending on how he
14,
plays.
15.
They,
Yeah.
they did say his arm's doing better.
They said his arm is fresh. David Johnson said it's the best he's seen him
Right.
so far.
So it's P2, and I remember.
They hold him out on Wednesdays in practice,
Right.
so he doesn't have to practice
Yep.
and ruin his arm. They already know
Yep.
what he can do. He knows what he can do.
Right.
They're holding him out of most of the preseason.
Which they should do to all the other players.
Exactly.
I'm just.
Did you know he's only owned in 42% of leagues? 42%. That means you got like Blake Bortles.
Are you gonna cry?
No, I think I know. You got Blake Bortles
Yeah.
getting picked
You go
before
undrafted
him.
in a lot of leagues.
That, I mean,
Palmer didn't have the greatest stats, but he's 4,233
What was
yards,
it, 24 touchdowns?
26 touchdowns,
26 touchdowns.
14 picks. I mean, 14
and
picks.
maybe some of those picks weren't even his fault.
Exactly. Some of
And
those
that's-
receivers can't catch.
And that's the same thing that we talked about the
Everyone
other
bouncing
day.
on Michael Floyd's hand.
Yeah. True that.
that.
Skull Vikings though, Michael Floyd. I
But-
believe in you.
Mm,
I do.
just don't drink and drive.
Hey man,
But,
everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah, well.
Unless you punch a woman
It'd
in
be
the
the same
face.
mistake
See?
twice.
But we were saying the other day that Phillip Rivers had 21 interceptions, and those weren't even most of his
Yeah,
fault.
he had 32
I mean-
touchdowns, 21 interceptions.
Something like that.
But it's because he had Travis Benjamin, Tyrell Williams, and
Dontrell
Inman.
So,
Ugh.
so you think about the Carson Palmer situation. You get players that are injured and that's not, or get hit and fumble the ball. I mean, it's not his fault, but they consider it being his fault.
Anytime you have David
But-
Johnson to throw it to
David
as well.
Oh my God, that guy's
Drop it.
explosive.
You could throw a 1-yard pass to him. He brings it 89 yards for a
That-
touchdown.
If we could put the highlights up for the Cardinals against the Eagles, when he couldn't go down, he didn't go down.
Can't stop him.
You thought he went down, but he just kept going.
He's like, oh hey guys,
That
bye.
highlight was great. So.
Beautiful.
I love it. All right, y'all. That concludes the last team of the NFC West for the studs, duds, and sleepers for your fantasy 2017 season. We would like to thank you very, very much for all your views, criticism,
Views,
feedback,
comments, yes.
all that. We
Please,
Help us grow.
please share, like, and always comment.
Check out the social media pages.
Will be in the description below.
We will drop those for you. We got our Instagram, our Facebook, and our Twitter. We will have a Snapchat coming for you as well. Just give us a look.
And bear with us as our quality of video improves. We'll improve on both the video and audio, but
Yes.
we will get there. So
We will get there.
we're on the webcam right now, but everything starts somewhere. It's the
Exactly.
process, and the process of progress has begun. So
And we'll probably throw down my descriptions for my YouTube channel. Get some behind the
maybe
scenes.
we'll think about that.
Oh my god.
No free advertising. No, just kidding. Shout out to Emilio's. We'll
Meats
get
ballin'. Hey, we did
Yes.
have some delicious saw from Emilio's. If you live in Phoenix, Arizona, we recommend Emilio's on 19th Avenue and Bell. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
$5.55 for a large
An
pepperoni
excellent
pizza.
selection of other
Yeah.
foods as well. So
Great customer service. too.
Italian, Hispanic. You can get different flavors, whatever you feel like. They have it there.
The
So,
wings are phenomenal
wings,
as well.
burgers.
For that price, ooh.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Shout out to Emilio's. Thank you, guys.
Emilio's.
This
Y'all.
is Jared.
This is Corey.
And this is Scott.
We out.
Devin. That was terrible.